Hi, I'm so excited. I'm going to take you along on a cruise around Scandinavia and other amazing ports around the Baltic Sea.
By the end of this video, you'll know what are the ports actually like when you get off the ship. Is it industrial, scenic, chaotic? Is it easy to walk into the city center? How walkable is the port area? What are some transportation options to consider? And what did I choose to do? And was it worth it? I'll share my helpful cruise guides and my best tips to optimize your next visit.
Hi, I'm Libby. I live on cruise ships full time.
I've taken this itinerary around Europe and this area several times. So I've learned which ports are easy, fun, and unforgettable, and the ones that take a lot more planning to get right.
Multiple cruise lines offer similar itineraries with most of these destinations. Princess usually calls theirs Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, or Scandinavia, or Scandinavia and Baltic. Interesting note, the cruise that I'm on right now is called Norway, Denmark, and Sweden, but it actually doesn't stop in Norway. Other very similar Princess cruises include Kristiansand, and since I've been to Kristiansand before, I also talk about that port. So let's cruise and dig into the ports. First up is Skagen, which is the northernmost part of Denmark. And honestly, this port is such a gem. It's calm, it's beautiful, and it's incredibly walkable. You can stroll straight from the ship into town or wander toward the beaches on either side. And again, zero logistics, no shuttle, no taxi. You can just walk to the beach, to the lighthouse, to the cafes and shops. Everything is close. It's peaceful, it's scenic, and it's one of those ports that you don't need to plan to have a wonderful day. Next up, Copenhagen. This is a port where I chose not to walk into town. You can walk it, but it's about an hour, and I knew I wanted to explore a lot once I got into the city. So I went with a hop-on, hop-off bus, also known as a ho-ho. The nice thing is that it picks you up right at the port the moment you step off the ship. Now, I could have bought a ticket on board for $34.95, but that one partners with Red Sightseeing, which is generally the more budget-friendly option, and they run one main loop with buses every 20 to 30 minutes. I ended up choosing Stroma, the city sightseeing buses, because they offer 3 different lines on one ticket. With only one route on Red, I was a little nervous about crowds, especially with an early all aboard time that we had. So my ticket for that was 279 Danish krona, or about $43.
I give the arrival experience and walkability a low score because it's an industrial area that's a long walk into the city center. It's technically possible to walk there, and it's not too bad, but it is along a highway. However, because it's a big city, there are plenty of transportation options to get you there as well.
I had an absolutely wonderful day in Copenhagen. I walked around for hours. There's so much to do. I stopped and ate at a wonderful little vegan restaurant and had this delicious burrito. I saw tons of dogs and beautiful views. There's really nice lakes all around. Copenhagen itself is colorful, historic, and full of personality. A beautiful city worthy of exploration. Third stop, Warnemünde. It's basically the beachy side part of Rostock. Warnemünde is one of the easiest cruise ports in Europe. You step off the ship and you're in town. So no shuttles, no taxis, no stress.
Or you could choose to easily go into Rostock, or Berlin is possible to get to, but keep in mind that the train ride there is usually about 3 hours with a connection in Rostock. Overall, Warnemünde is one of my favorite stops because it's such a pleasant experience to easily walk around the port area and makes for a very easy and happy day.
That was so unexpected. What do you think? It's shocking, isn't it?
Next on our itinerary was Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn always feels like stepping into a storybook. The medieval old town is beautifully preserved. Cobblestones, towers, pastel buildings. It really is like a fairy tale village. Tallinn is super walkable too. It's about a 15 to 20 minute walk from the port into Old Town, but it's not a bad walk. You pass a McDonald's and a Circle K, there's a little bit of infrastructure, but then once you get there, boy, do you know it. Hi, we are in Helsinki, Finland today. Helsinki is walkable, but it takes about 45 minutes to get into town, and the first 15 minutes or so are not scenic at all. It's, just not the nicest walk. So again, you might consider a shuttle or a city bus or the hop-on, hop-off buses here. I've gone into Helsinki city center before, and I really enjoyed it. Beautiful architecture and lots of history. But today, we had friends pick us up and take us to a small town about 45-minute drive away called Porvo. It was really nice because it has really old cobblestone streets and nice older well-kept homes and little shops that sell nice chocolates and treats, good licorice, for example. And then, even a cafe along the river. It was all very nice. And then we came back into town, into Helsinki. We had a nice Syrian lunch and then walked around a little bit and came back to the ship. Unfortunately, all aboard time was 3:30 p.m. Now it's time to leave Helsinki. It was wonderful. This beautiful weather was something else. It was a great time. Next was Stockholm, and we actually stayed for a day and a half here, which is pretty rare for a princess itinerary.
But it was cold and very rainy, so we chose to stay on the ship during this stop. Fortunately, we've had the pleasure of being here before. First, let's talk about the sailing. Stockholm sits in an archipelago of over 30,000 islands, and the approach is one of the most beautiful in the world. Tip, have your camera ready. Stockholm itself is technically walkable from the port. It's usually about a 45-minute to 1 hour trip, depending on exactly where you dock and how fast you go. But once you're in the city, it's beautiful to walk around. There are cobblestones and hilly areas, so something to be aware of for mobility purposes. Overall, I score Stockholm with a 6 for arrival and walkability because it's technically possible, but quite far and not that nice to walk into town. As a big city, it gets a 9 for the variety of transportation options. By the way, once again, Princess partnered with Red Sightseeing for the easiest to access ho-hos, and I noticed the line to board those hop-on, hop-off buses were very long. They have a variety of great museums, and most of all, I enjoy the views of the beautiful architecture and the landscapes. Fun fact, Stockholm was founded in the 1200s, and it's built across 14 islands. The island called Gamla Stan is one of the best preserved medieval old towns in Europe.
And now we're at our final stop, Visby, Sweden. It is a gorgeous day. Oh, I can't wait.
Visby was another amazing, wonderful, very walkable port on this itinerary. It's important that you take the sky bridge next to the port to get out of the port and cross the road. You can then choose to turn left and take a paved sidewalk along the coast for most of the way, with some dirt paths in a couple of areas. Or you can keep going straight and you'll start seeing medieval walls, and you can follow the signs, taking a lovely little scenic path with a scenic view and beautiful flowers. That was definitely one of my favorite things. Once you get into the city, it takes about 20 minutes. It is amazing. Visby is an UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its 12th century walls, its medieval church ruins, and its history as a major Hanseatic trading hub. It's peaceful, beautiful, and incredibly photogenic.
Overall, Visby gets a high score for easy access to a beautiful city. It's even just a 5-minute walk to the Visby Botanical Gardens. As an alternative to walking, note that there are no hop-on, hop-off buses. You could consider taking the Visby shuttle for $12 round trip.
Visby was the perfect final stop. The big winners for this itinerary for the arrival and walkability were Warnemünde, Skagen, Visby, and Tallinn. The bigger cities don't score as well for the walkability from the port to the city center, but they tended to have more transportation options. Copenhagen, Helsinki, and Stockholm are all historical and beautiful cities, definitely worth exploring. I think all of these ports are excellent. For my final sea days, I kept busy with some dancing, gaming, and shows on the Sky Princess. It was a bit too cold for me to sit by the pool, but as an elite loyalty member, I attended a complimentary cocktail event and enjoyed a most traveled guest event as well. What a wonderful cruise. Now we're headed back to Southampton. I will be staying on the ship as we sail to Norway for the next 3 weeks. I'm looking forward to the stunning fjords, the cozy Nordic towns, and all the peaceful sea days in between. As I mentioned earlier, some versions of this Scandinavian itinerary included Kristiansand. In my previous visits to Kristiansand in Norway, I have found it to be another very walkable and super pretty port area. I believe its score would be similar to Skagen. I'm visiting Kristiansand again soon, and I'm going to do a whole new video on most of the ports around Norway.
Here are my top 5 tips for when you're cruising through countries like Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Number 1, don't bring cash. Don't bother exchanging your local currency for the various krona currencies in Scandinavia. It's actually one of the most cashless regions in the world. Your best move is to use your smartphone wallet like Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. Tap to Pay works almost anywhere, including public transportations, cafes, museums, bathrooms, street food, even tiny little souvenir stands. Number 2, always dress in layers, even in the summer. Scandinavian weather changes fast. A sunny morning can become windy and chilly by the afternoon, especially near the sea or the fjords. Always bring a light, waterproof jacket and layers you can easily add or remove. Number 3, remain vigilant in the big cities. Most cruise ports and tourist areas in Scandinavia are very safe, clean, and well organized. That said, common sense still matters. Keep an eye on your phone and wallet in crowded city centers. Stay aware in train stations and busy tourist areas, and avoid leaving your bags unattended. Number 4, leverage public transportation. The trains, ferries, subways, and buses are really clean, safe, and incredibly efficient. Number 5, nature is the main attraction. Some of the best experiences are completely free. Walking waterfronts, hiking scenic trails, exploring colorful old towns, sitting by the fjords, just sitting outside watching the sunset. If you found value in this video and would like to see more cruise content from me, please like and subscribe so I'll know. Or let me know in the comments below anything you liked or disliked or anything you'd like to see in the future. I would be very happy to have that feedback and incorporate it into my next videos. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and happy cruising!